FB. In search of raw food living. Imagine you have found Niyama in her home at the Sacred Archives. She inspired you to learn more about raw food living. Envision one of the doors and go through the shadow world to her wellness sanctuary in the middle of a magical forest, located in a far distant galaxy called Gemestos on the planet Vinex. The Shadow World. The Shadow World is a space dimension that brings all the realms, planets and galaxies of the entire creation closer together, and for that reason space and time can be jumped. Entering the Shadow World, all realms, planets and galaxies become like shadows, shifting and moving over, under and through each other. The way to not get lost is to focus on the destination by knowing its name and the visual picture connected to that name. Niyama's Wellness Sanctuary. 20 ways how raw food living can change your life. Introduction. Is raw food living for me? Raw food living is for fanatics and extremists. We may call people who practice raw food living extremists or fanatics. People who are missing out on life. Let's not forget the endless list of today's diseases. Every second person possibly getting confronted with cancer. People ending up sick like dogs and wanting to return to the life which caused the disease. Is that not weird? Almost everybody walking on the street is on the list. We are all living on a battlefield, a world stressed to the max. We run, race, lack proper rest and breaks. We consume foods loaded with poisons, stimulate the body and mind with artificial boosters such as soda, sugar, coffee, violence, deadlines, drugs, and pop tablets as if they are candy. Is this not living on a time bomb? Is this not extreme? Realize, however, that there are always fanatics in life. Raw and organic living is too expensive. We have addressed this under the best value for your money and freedom. But when we still have difficulty to pay for seeds and nuts, why not starting a co-op? Invite friends over for a raw food lunch and dinner and assist them on the path, and soon you not only have a support group, different way of socializing, but a possibility to connect with a wholesaler and buying in bulk. Anyway, we must understand that when the right fuel enters the body, that it will function better, and that it doesn't need to be filled up by feeling unfulfilled. We mostly eat too much because we live to eat instead of eating to live. I'm allergic to many fresh fruits, nuts and vegetables. In general, we become allergic to foods that shouldn't be in the body in the first place, but when it concerns raw foods, it's probably connected that the body still had lots of old waste inside, or that we are still combining raw with old ways of eating. By starting to eat more raw, the body will start to clean itself, and when it's more clean, it will be able to take the nutrients out of the food. An unclean, not optimum functioning, and not well-fed body takes from itself to survive, and this is the start of cancer. The body starts to consume itself. Raw food living is not really working for me. We may have tried for a little while raw food living, but we're not impressed or even disappointed with the results. Maybe you did it for the wrong reasons. Maybe your body is repairing and using all the energy instead of you feeling more energy to do things. Maybe you are still unconscious eating, overeating and just filling up. Maybe the food is not prepared with care and love. Maybe you're still talking too much during your meals and not chewing properly. Maybe you are eating in the wrong atmosphere with people who are not tuned in. Maybe you were not creative enough and lacking variation. Maybe your foundation and determination was lacking, and finding justifications not to do it or not to continue. Realize that the mind can justify anything. We also want to enjoy the wealth of living in a home that doesn't give us too much trouble, a home that constantly needs repair. Our body is that home, which constantly needs repairs, but we are not doing the best job. Just popping a tablet, patching things up, or just cutting some parts out will not do the trick. Millions of cells are constantly dying in our body, cells which are as well used for the rebuilding of our new body. Yes, our body is a great recycling system, but when the cells who died were already in poor condition of health, we basically rebuild our body with weak materials. This is happening on the inside, and from the outside we are bringing in poor and unhealthy materials. Our modern world, where we build homes with cheap materials, a world where quality is rare, a world where we do not really get down to the core of healing and cleaning the planet, a world full of toxins and waste, a world full with destruction and wars, is nothing more than a reflection of our own body and mind. When we are still looking for wealth and health for ourselves, others and the planet, it's time to start with raw food living. The key to energy and vitality. Looking at food as fuel, we can talk about a high and low grade. In order to visualize this better, let's imagine that the best and high-grade fuel is captured in the center of the circle of food grades. Here we find organic foods growing wild in nature and drinking fresh water from clean streams. The circle around that center, we take organic foods growing seasonal, wild in nature. Some we eat fresh, some we juice, and others we store to eat at a later date. We soak, sprout, and sun-dry others. The next circle, we eat organic foods coming from gardens and fields created by man. The next circle, we use methods to optimize water. We use special machines that freeze and juice dry plants and foods at room temperature and use a dehydrator. The next circle, we are eating mass-produced foods, infected with chemicals, pesticides, and artificial preservatives. We also use various heating systems that deplete the value of food, such as boiling, baking, deep frying, microwaves, steaming and stir-frying, pasteurizing, and homogenizing. We drink concentrated juices and water without knowing if it is alkaline or acid. In this circle, we differentiate a little when heating foods through lightly steaming and stir-frying with a wok. Here we are still eating at home or in better restaurants. The last circle, we are eating fast foods, genetically manipulated foods, the high-processed and bleached products. Although there is always a better choice to make in any situation, it is clear what the best is for health of our cells, and which are giving us the most energy. The fuel we put into our body will give a reaction to each cell, organ, part, and system, reacting on a physical, mental, and emotional level. We do not know how much life, energy, and vitality we can experience. We do not know that life can be totally different than we experience right now, because most of us have not experienced to live with fuel grade 1, so we don't know better or different. Imagine your body as a manufactory that produces office furniture. The quality of the end product is dominantly connected to the quality of the raw product which was purchased and used to go through the assembly line. When we would use products to make the office furniture that are not designed for the machinery, it will definitely result in breakdowns. The assembly line workers, who we can visualize as all the enzymes needed to digest and assimilate the foods, are in general overworking because of the wrong products on the assembly line, and on top they do not receive proper sunshine, water and rests. So we know what is going to happen as they lose their strength and health. In addition, there is now too much waste material backing up and the entire factory becomes dirty because we do not clean up, just as we do not clean our inside of the body. In general, we do take better care of our car, homes and pets, although in most cases we see the negative reflection and aspects in all departments of our life. What we put in will come out, or what we sow we shall reap. We put in low-grade fuel and we will have a low-grade life. We consume animal flesh and we will take on the animal characteristics and behave more like them. We consume lots of chemicals and artificial ingredients, and our life will be artificial, and the chemicals will cause abnormal behavior. We eat lots of processed foods, and we and our organs will be probably possessed sooner than later, or in other words, become addicted. We take in sugar and sugar-related products, alcohol and drugs, and do not have to be surprised with uncontrolled behavior. And fast foods will result in a stressful and fast life.